A man can hide his words. He can control his face. He can even pretend that he feels nothing. But desire has a weakness. It often reveals itself through behavior. If you want to understand whether a man secretly wants intimacy with you, do not listen only to what he says. Watch what he does when he thinks you are not paying attention. Machiavelli understood a simple truth about human nature. People reveal their true intentions through their actions more often than through their promises. So let us look at the first two signs. 1. He finds reasons to stay close to you. A man who wants intimacy does not always make a direct move. Sometimes, he creates small reasons to remain near you. He may sit beside you when other places are available. He may extend a conversation that should have ended 10 minutes ago. He may find another question to ask, another story to tell, or another reason to see you again. None of these actions alone proves desire. But patterns matter. If he repeatedly chooses your company, gives you more time than he gives others, and seems unusually comfortable being physically close to you, something may be happening beneath the surface. The important thing is not simply how close he stands. It is whether he keeps choosing closeness when he does not need to. That is where human behavior becomes interesting. A man can say, "I was just talking," but if he always finds a reason to talk to you, the reason may be less important than the choice itself. Machiavelli would tell you not to judge a person by one isolated action. Judge him by repeated behavior. One moment can be accidental. A pattern usually is not. And this is why you should never become too excited by a single compliment, a long conversation, or one moment of eye contact. Watch what happens again. Does he return? Does he look for you? Does he create opportunities to be around you? If the answer is repeatedly yes, his interest may be stronger than his words suggest. 2. His attention becomes more focused on you. The second sign is attention. When a man secretly wants intimacy with someone, he may begin to notice details that other people ignore. He remembers something you mentioned days ago. He notices when your mood changes. He remembers how you like your coffee, what kind of music you enjoy, or a small story you told him once. Why does this matter? Because attention has a cost. Every person has limited time and mental energy. Where someone repeatedly places that attention can reveal what matters to them. A man may speak politely to many women, but if he becomes unusually attentive toward you, that difference is worth noticing. Maybe he watches your reaction when he tells a joke. Maybe he notices when another man approaches you. Maybe he asks questions that go beyond ordinary conversation. He is not simply hearing your words. He is studying your response. And sometimes, this is where attraction becomes visible before a man ever admits it. But be careful. Do not confuse basic kindness with romantic or intimate desire. Some men are naturally attentive. Some are simply respectful. Some enjoy deep conversation without wanting anything physical. The real clue is selective attention. Does he behave this way with everyone, or does he become different around you? That difference is more revealing than any single action. A wise person does not ask, "Does he like me?" A wiser question is, "How does he behave with me compared with everyone else?" That comparison can reveal what words often hide. And there is another important clue. Sometimes a man's desire is not visible in what he says to you. It becomes visible in what happens when someone else gets your attention. There is a point where attraction becomes harder to hide. A man may control his words, but controlling every reaction is much harder. The more emotionally or physically interested he becomes, the more likely his behavior will change when you enter the room. That is why you should watch the small reactions, not just the obvious ones. 3. He becomes more sensitive when other men get your attention. One of the strongest clues can appear when another man enters the picture. Suppose you are talking to another man. Suddenly, he becomes quieter. He watches the conversation. He may find a reason to join it. Or perhaps his mood changes for no obvious reason. This does not automatically mean he wants intimacy. Jealousy can come from many places. Insecurity, competition, possessiveness, or emotional attachment. But if a man consistently reacts when other men become close to you, it can suggest that your attention has become valuable to him. And this is where human nature becomes predictable. People protect what they believe has value. If your attention means nothing to him, he has little reason to care who receives it. But if he suddenly becomes more alert when another man gets close, you may have discovered something he has not said aloud. Still, do not try to create jealousy just to test him. That is a dangerous game. A person who is genuinely interested does not need to be manipulated into revealing himself. Instead, simply observe natural situations. Does his energy change? Does he suddenly become more interested in the conversation? Does he try harder to keep your attention? These details can tell you more than a force test ever could. 4. He creates emotional and physical tension. The fourth sign is subtle. A man who wants intimacy may create moments where the distance between you feels different. Maybe he holds eye contact a little longer. Maybe there is a pause after you say something. Maybe his voice becomes softer when speaking to you. Maybe he leans closer when you are talking, even though he can hear you perfectly well. Sometimes the conversation becomes less important than the atmosphere between the two people. This is what people often call chemistry. But chemistry is not magic. It is often a mixture of attention, attraction, emotional comfort, body language, and anticipation. A man may say ordinary words while communicating something very different through his behavior. For example, he may ask about your day. Nothing unusual, but perhaps he remembers exactly what happened yesterday and asks about it again. He is showing that your life occupies space in his mind. Or perhaps he compliments something very specific about you rather than giving a general compliment. Instead of simply saying you look good, he notices your eyes, your voice, your style, or some small detail that most people would overlook. Specific attention can reveal stronger interest than generic praise. But again, context matters. A single long look means very little. A repeated pattern of eye contact, focused attention, nervousness, closeness, and emotional curiosity means much more. Machiavelli's lesson here is simple. Never judge intention by one gesture. Judge it by the pattern of behavior surrounding the gesture. A man may accidentally look at you. He may accidentally stand close to you. He may accidentally remember something you said. But when all these things repeatedly happen together, coincidence becomes a weaker explanation. There is another thing worth watching. Sometimes a man who secretly wants intimacy will not become more confident around you. He may become the opposite. He may become nervous. He may talk too much, then suddenly become quiet. He may try to appear calm while clearly being more aware of himself. Why? Because attraction can create self-consciousness. When someone matters to you, their opinion matters too, and that can make even a confident man behave differently. So do not assume that nervousness means disinterest. Sometimes the person trying hardest to appear unaffected is the person who is most affected. But remember one final rule. Interest is not the same as intention. A man may be attracted to you without wanting a relationship. He may desire intimacy without wanting emotional commitment. And he may enjoy your attention without being prepared to give you anything meaningful in return. That distinction is crucial. Do not only ask whether he wants you. Ask what he is willing to do with that desire. Because attraction can be hidden, but serious intention eventually demands action. The final signs are not about what a man feels for a moment. They are about what he repeatedly chooses to do. Because attraction can exist in silence, but genuine intention eventually leaves a trail. 5. He looks for private, meaningful moments with you. A man who wants intimacy may begin looking for moments when the two of you can talk without an audience. He may suggest meeting somewhere quieter. He may stay after everyone else leaves. He may turn an ordinary conversation into something more personal. He asks about your past, your relationships, your fears, your dreams. What makes you happy? What makes you uncomfortable? These questions are important because intimacy is not only physical. Real intimacy begins with access. Access to your time, your attention, your thoughts, your emotions. When a man consistently tries to move the connection from public conversation toward private understanding, it can be a sign that he wants a deeper bond. But once again, look for consistency. A man who only appears late at night, only contacts you when he is lonely, or avoids knowing anything about your real life, may not be seeking intimacy in the deeper sense. He may simply be seeking convenience. There is a difference. A man who genuinely values you will usually show curiosity about you, not just about what he can get from you. That is why his questions matter. Does he remember your answers? Does he respect your boundaries? Does he care about your comfort? Does he remain interested, even when intimacy is not immediately available? These questions reveal far more than flirting ever could. 6. His actions become more consistent. This is perhaps the most important sign of all. A man may flirt with you. He may look at you differently. He may compliment you. He may become nervous around you. But none of these things proves serious interest. The clearest evidence is consistency. If he wants to be close to you, he keeps showing up. If he values your attention, he gives you his attention too. If he wants to know you, he makes an effort to know you. And if he wants intimacy that goes beyond physical attraction, he understands that trust must come first. This is where many people make a mistake. They become fascinated by signals while ignoring behavior. They analyze every message, every emoji, every glance, every delayed reply. But human psychology is often simpler than that. When someone truly wants a place in your life, eventually they make that desire visible through effort, not necessarily through dramatic declarations. Through small, repeated choices. He checks on you. He makes time. He keeps his promises. He respects your boundaries. He does not disappear whenever things become inconvenient. And most importantly, he does not make you constantly question where you stand. Machiavelli would never advise you to surrender your judgment to desire. Observe, compare, wait. Let time expose what excitement tries to hide. Because anyone can act interested for one evening. Anyone can say the perfect words. Anyone can create chemistry for a few hours. But maintaining effort over time requires something stronger than attraction. It requires intention. And this is the final lesson. Do not measure a man's interest only by how strongly he looks at you. Measure it by how consistently he treats you. Do not measure his desire only by how close he tries to get. Measure it by whether he respects the distance you choose. And do not ask only, does he secretly want me? Ask the more powerful question, does his behavior show that he deserves access to me? That question changes everything. Because knowing that someone desires you may feel powerful. But knowing how to judge whether that desire is worthy of your trust is far more valuable. A man can want intimacy with you and still be the wrong man for you. Desire is not proof of character. Attention is not proof of commitment. And attraction is not proof of love. So observe the pattern. Let time speak. And never confuse someone's hunger for you with their ability to value you. If you enjoyed this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me which sign you have noticed the most, and share this video with someone who needs to understand the hidden language of attraction. Until next time, remember, words can be controlled, desire can be hidden, but consistent actions are difficult to disguise.